Show.
The players who started golf a long time ago, imagine if they looked at the golfers today. Do you think they would say the game was harder back then or today?
Well, that's the same thing disc golfers say. The game was harder back when Ken Climo and Barry Schultz were winning everything than it is now that Paul, Ricky, and Eagle and those players are winning everything because the technology advances. So, yeah, old timers are obviously going to say that it's easier nowadays, but at the same time, they all have the respect level, as in like what the top players in the world and the top distance players and everything like that, what they're doing is incredible in and of itself. But there's a case where you could say it's easier because of our technology. But at the same time, when technology grew in disc golf and golf, the courses also got bigger. So courses that, players were playing back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s for disc golf, when discs they were kind of like cheap plastic. You flipped them up, they turned to the right. No one really had a forehand, anything like that. Their holes were 200 to 300 feet, I feel like. Like, you could go back and look at Worlds, and they shoot negative 90 over 7-8 rounds or something like that. So it's insane. I don't know. Then you look at courses now like Northwoods Golds, where if you're a couple under par, like, you did an incredible thing. And I love that. I think that's the best way to compare disc golf to golf is like, we have courses where Fountain Hills, you go and shoot 17 down, and that puts you on lead card. But
that just means, and we can go on forever, I'll argue this point, but that just means that par is easier. That doesn't mean it's easier to throw the disc and do what you did. That just means par was easier. So if we're saying, is the competition easier? I will give you that. Disc golf competition is way easier because there's not as many people at a high level. That will change eventually. If you say, is it easier to shoot under par in disc golf? I will give you that 100%. It's way easier. I do it.
Yeah.
And but I don't know that I can actually say that the actual physics. I'll give you this as well. I'll give you this as well. The ramp up is way faster. So in a sense, it's easier to get into and to ramp up. But when we start getting into that, I'm just going to say 1,000 rated plus. Is it actually easier to refine at the smallest detail of how I hold my thumb, the angle, the spin, the thoughts about the wind in your backswing, just all of it together? I feel like the human brain is doing just as much, if not more, than golf at the same time.
I don't know. I think so. One of the things, Matt was talking about earlier was the margin for error in golf is a lot higher than it is in disc golf. Like he was saying, if you mess up your drive, if you duff the ball in golf and you go 30 yards off the tee, you can't throw your driver again. In disc golf, sometimes if you mess your shot up, you can usually throw your driver again. You can run up to it. In golf, you don't put another tee in the ground, and so you lose however much distance just off of that. To par everything in disc golf is 1,000 times. It's easier to what's the UDisc bounce back? The bounce back stat.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it's? Yeah, it's easier to have a higher bounce back stat in disc golf than it is golf. I think by 1,000%.